Welcome back, beautiful souls, to the 49th episode of the Perfectly Imperfect Spiritual Podcast. I'm your host, Marta the Medium, and I'm so grateful you're here in this space with us today. This episode is something special. I'm joined by Miguel Gonzalez, a gifted trance medium, spirit artist, and channel whose connection with spirit is incredibly deep and beautiful. Miguel works with his spirit guide Braveheart, who often speaks through him in trance to deliver healing messages for individuals and the collective. Miguel's journey began with a visitation from Our Lady of Guadalupe, which opened the doorway to his spiritual path. Through trance work, spirit art, and channeling, Miguel brings through frequencies of truth, love, and deep remembering. We are going to talk about anything that the spirit world really wants us today. But yeah, I would love to welcome you again, Miguel. Welcome. I am so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Marta. It's an honor to be here with you and those that get to later on watch the podcast. Hello, and I look forward to what Spirit leads us forward to in conversation.
I am so grateful. And before I hit the record button, anyone who's been watching those episodes, they're perfectly imperfect and they're not scripted. And we always consult, I know my guests always consult anything that they're to discuss with their spirit team and my spirit guides. They've been so happy and excited. And the whole morning, they've been giving me ideas about things that I can discuss with Miguel and the ways we could go ahead in terms of the content of this podcast. So I shared with Miguel that they would really love for Miguel to start that episode by him doing what he's doing when he's being of service to others, by connecting to the spirit world, by bringing his, well, whether it will be his spirit guide, a brave heart, or perhaps any other souls that would want to come through. And Miguel said yes. So if you're well ready, I would love to start from this one. And we are not constrained by time. We have that space. And I'm so appreciative of all of your spirit team and you. So thank you.
Thank you, Marta. Thank you. I appreciate you very much and your team as well for the encouragement of beginning the podcast this way. Yeah, we can go ahead and get started if that's what feels right.
It does feel. Thank you.
I'm just gonna dim my light over here.
Of course.
Is that okay? Like this, or is it too
Yes,
dark?
yeah, I can hear you. Yes, and will there be anything that will be required from me, like before you connect, or they just engage with you the way it feels naturally? When...
Yes, the way that it feels natural. Once my guide comes forward, if you may, communicate, talk to him, that would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the dimness here because it helps me to relax a little bit more.
Perfect.
Um,
Yes.
and so I can already feel that they're getting nice and close.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to open the space with a prayer before we begin, if that is
Okay,
okay.
perfect. Yes, thank you so much.
Dear God, Mother Mary, Jesus, angels, Braveheart, guides and helpers, divine friends of love and light, I call upon you, your love, your healing, and protection to be with us here as we join you in this sacred space to be as one. We invite you, dear friends, to shower us with your love, your words, your wisdom, your healing for ourselves, the world, and all of those that need to hear from you. May your love and presence be felt within our heart, our soul, the space around, all in the eternal love and light of God. Amen. Well, hello to you today, little one. My name is Braveheart, and I am the guide of Miguel, and we are here to be with you at this time. And I must say to you, we love you. We love you all. God is present, and God is with you. We are grateful to spend this time gathered to share our message with the world, a message of love and kindness. But I must ask you, little one, are you able to hear me?
Hello, Braveheart. It's such an honor to be able to connect with you, and such an honor to hear anything that you would like to share with the collective.
Yes, little one. We wish to remind you all that you are not of the earth. You are not of the world that you occupy at this time. So in saying this, I remind you that you are spirit, you are light, you are love. Do not get so caught up on the material, little ones. There are many who are lost on the path and have placed a great deal of importance, more than the life of a soul, on the material, and have created such a great division of spirit and self. Humanity at this time needs to be reminded of this. You are all spirit. You must all come first before the material of the realm you occupy. It is important to remember to be kind to one another. You are all on the journey of earth to experience life, to gain the knowledge of love, to experience the great miracles that God wishes to bestow upon you, that are natural, are meant to always be with you. But if you are not in alignment, then you are naturally repelling the goodness that is to come your way, my friends. So I encourage you to take a moment to be with yourself, be with your spirit, be in the silence of your own soul, where peace and love are present, where the temple of God is within you. It is natural that you seek answers to the questions that you have outside of you. You go and ask for help, for questions to be answered. But the answers you seek are within you, within the self. But the mind must be calm, must be prepared to accept these answers, little ones. Leave aside the material. Go within and live in alignment to Creator, that you are all equal. You are all love, and we love you. We support you. This is our message, little one. Come back to the self. Go within and embrace the love.
Thank you.
There are many souls, little ones, who get lost along the way. They become too lost in the material of the earth that they feel and believe within every part of their being that success means money, a new car, to stand at the top above everyone, to show themselves that they are better. But this is not true. Yes, we understand the material provides comfort, safety for some, so that you may experience a life that is balanced. But when it becomes priority over God, then the soul has lost their way. It is important to share with others the richness that you experience within you and love that you have to support each other. during these times where your world is rapidly changing, or what's been hidden is coming to the surface. So what will you do, my friends? Will you remain silent and continue to sleep comfortably in the slumber? Or will you wake up and change the world through your own healing, through your own love? What will you do? It is time to sit with the self, to be with you. And as you do, you will feel a great change upon you. And this love cannot be contained. It is larger than you can imagine and will inspire others, dear friends, others around you, to also love themselves, be kind to their body, their spirit, and you will then find that harmony is upon you, that God is present with you every step of the way, every breathing moment. God is there. Call upon us, my friends. We are here to help. You all, little ones on the earth, have guides that walk this journey with you. Remember them. They are there to help you. They are there to love you. We send our love to your world, to each and every soul, one step at a time, to free yourself from the conditions of the earthly realm into the true essence of your spirit, so that it may be revealed to you. This is only a remembrance. Remember where you come from. Remember, dear friends, it is within you. Yeshua, as many of you know him as Jesus, is with us. His love is with you in your hearts. Surrender your pain to him, and he gladly accepts it, to fill the space with more love, to heal the wounds that you have acquired on your journey, and to remind you he has always been by your side, has always been there to help you on your spiritual journey, to realize that you are light, you are love, you are healing, the healing force of Creator.
Thank you, Braveheart.
You're welcome, little one. It is an honor to be here with you as I share my gratitude for offering your space to many. so that our voice may be heard in your realm. For many are awakening during this time and are curious what there is out there. But nothing is out there, as everything is within the soul. And through your guidance and connections, they are beginning to see this within themselves. So we encourage you, little one, to continue on the path that you are on. For great healing is coming, as it is already present. A healing center, little one, a space for gathering of the spiritual souls for growth and development is to come your way, and we will support you on this, where it will be a center of love and communion to honor the Spirit.
Thank you for that profound, deep message and for taking time to speak to the collective. I really appreciate your presence and wisdom.
And we appreciate you and all that are listening. Open your hearts, little ones. Open your hearts. We are there. Well, little one, I will now take a step back and bring this one back to you. I leave you all with my love and humble blessings. Creator is with you. You are the expression of love. Do not fear, my friends. Create with your divine inspiration. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, I'm back.
Thank you for allowing us to experience you channeling the wisdom of your spirit guide and for us to be able to feel the energy of the creator and to really reconnect with Jesus. And I don't have to say much. Everyone, the energy speaks louder than any of the words. I truly appreciate what you've done for everyone here. So thank you.
Thank you, Marta. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Where are you drawn to take us now in terms of sharing about your human experience and your journey, like navigating between the human experience and connecting with the spirit world? There's so many entry points I can imagine. So choose one and we'll go with the flow.
Absolutely. Thank you for this. Yeah, I think what comes to mind is finding balance within being in that connection of spirit, but also being grounded to the reality and experience that we are having here during this time. I think, when, or I'll speak from my experience, when I first started this journey, all of my intention and attention wanted to be spirit. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be out there. But I feel like I've really come to a place where I'm now really appreciating the groundedness of being here. And I feel that that groundedness has also strengthened my link to spirit because I'm
Mm-hmm.
accepting both realities and I'm embracing that I am here and I'm there as well. And so that has
Mm-hmm.
created a really beautiful balance to experience. So I wish for others, that are starting this journey, remember to come
Mm-hmm.
back to you, to come back to this space of we are here as well.
I love what you're saying because I completely agree and frequently, well, I'm going to generalize that people who are at the beginning of developing their connection with the spirit world, well, I want to say the word overdue keeps coming to my mind. They overdo attending hundreds of development classes, wanting to be perfect at maintaining or establishing a link with the spirit world, but they completely forget about what you've just mentioned, that we are souls having that human experience. And actually, hopefully, the viewers and listeners will be convinced and will be willing to try for themselves that the more we ground ourselves in that experience, the more we find ways to be here, the stronger then the link can be. Could you talk a little bit more about why is that and what are your ways of grounding yourself? Anything that you'd like to share with the viewers and listeners?
Thank you, Martha. Thank you. Yeah, I find meditation to be a really great tool for grounding. And it can be as quickly as just focusing on the breath and imagining that energy being pulled into the ground, absorbed into the ground, and helping us to just feel present in the moment. That's really one of the bigger encompassing, things to really share is to be in the moment. We can so easily, find ourselves distracted in the future, in the past, or the next
Mm,
few minutes ahead of us. But that groundedness really pulls us to be here, and it can bring a calmness so that we experience life in a more balanced way. And that same calmness that can be present within just ourselves is also that link and that connection of connecting to spirit. We have to be in the present moment to
mm-hmm,
receive their guidance, their wisdom, that link to a loved one. It has to be moment by moment. And so by that, we truly are never separate. We are never
mm,
separate because the breath, as I believe Braveheart also mentioned, is connecting us. It's connecting us always.
Could you talk more about that breath? How does it connect us? If you
Yes,
could expand more.
absolutely. I'll give a little bit of a backstory. A friend of mine recently lost their mother, and she invited me to be with them and to be with her mom as well before she transitioned. And I remember being in a space, and I could feel that God was there. God was absolutely there in the room. There was this peacefulness that just overcame everything. It's the type of peacefulness that your mind can't even, think. It's just in the moment. It's in the
Mm,
moment. And the breath is steady, it's continuous, it's flowing. And one thing she shared with me here was that she realized herself that when we come to earth, we take that first inhale,
mm,
and when
mm-hmm,
we exit this realm, we exhale. And I was like, oh, what a profound thing to become
mm-hmm,
aware of. And through that, I started to ponder on that my own self. And it's true. We are connected to this realm the moment we breathe in, and then we return when we exhale. And so that breath
mm-hmm,
is here balancing us, and each breath that we take is bringing close God to us, as God is all around us, everywhere. And so we are constantly absorbing God into us, and I find that to be really
mm.
beautiful.
I love it. And sometimes it is just enough to take a deep breath in and to realize that just being is enough. I think it feels like so liberating and freeing.
Absolutely. Oh,
Mm,
absolutely. And, over these last few years, I've discovered that my body, my breath are a great teacher, to show me and help me become aware of where I'm at myself moment to moment. The moment that we become angry, our breath pattern changes. If
mhm,
there's frustration, same thing. If we are sad,
mhm,
our breath changes. That pattern is changing depending on the emotion we are experiencing. And when those emotions arise, yes, the desire is to want to change that, but we can just simply sit by observing the breath and it will naturally change to a calmness
mhm,
on its own, which is really beautiful.
mhm. I love it. Mm. Could you share one of the stories, the one you would like, about how you've started with the trance mediumship, how you've, or maybe when was the first time you connected with your spirit guide Braveheart? You choose
Yes,
what you would like to share.
absolutely. So a few years before I made that conscious awareness connection to Braveheart, I had listened to a guided trance meditation on YouTube. And I remember sitting and I went through the process of the breathing and everything. And when I was relaxed, I started to feel a Native American soul.
Mm,
And I could just, within my mind's eye, just see like this movie playing. And it was his life that was playing before me. And
mm,
I woke up from the trance and I said to myself, "Oh, it's just my mind making this up." I kind of
mm,
really dismissed it.
mhm,
And, fast forward a few years, or actually more than a few years, I connected with Elaine Thorpe, who's an amazing, amazing trance medium with her guide, Jonathan. And I had a private session with him. And in that session, Braveheart came through and he spoke to me.
mm,
And he just simply shared that he loved me, and
mm,
that awoke something within me that I then would intentionally sit, and I would sit in meditation with spirit, and I could feel his presence, come closer each time. And eventually the energy built up to the point where I could feel him taking control. And so there was these moments where he started to just say a couple words through me. Um,
mhm,
and he also began to share about himself. And months later after that, I was reading a book in bed and I felt him come into the space around me.
mm,
And he said to me, "Look me up." And I said, "What
mm,
do you mean, look you up?" He's like, "Yes, look me up. You will find me." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Okay."
mm,
So I Googled him, and sure enough, I found him, and I found that the information he had given me matched that which was written about him and his life. And so that really created this sense of reality of, oh, this is real for me. And so it's been a really wonderful journey since then of building that connection together as one.
I love it. And I also believe there are no coincidences, but out of curiosity, because, well, I'm originally from Poland, but I live in Scotland, in Edinburgh, and I've got a strong connection, somehow association. Do you have any connections to Scotland, or does your spirit guides got anything to do with this part of the world?
I not that I'm aware of. Yeah, but there are always other souls that may be around us that have those connections that we may not be immediately aware of. So it's very possible.
I was just curious. Well, I've just channeled my guide.
Oh,
Um,
beautiful.
So for anyone who's new to spirituality and well, anyone who's just heard you channeling your spirit guide and you talking beautifully about your connection with the spirit guide, like, can anyone develop their relationship with their spirit guide? And what advice would you give to people who don't know where to start?
Yes. I believe that, yeah, everybody can connect to their spirit guide. It is a natural way of being to experience that connection. We are spirit, they are spirit, so we are always of the same essence in that way. So that allows us to stay in touch. Now, the way in which they communicate is a little bit different, in how we speak, we hear, we feel here on earth is very normal to us, but it's in those same senses that we can connect with them, but in the spiritual sense, that they will connect with us. If anybody wants to connect with their guide, I encourage you to set some, time aside. Be with yourself first. Be with your
Mm,
own spirit. And once you have connected with your spirit, invite your guide to join you. And do this as many times as you wish or as frequently. And through that, you become familiar with their vibration, their spirit, and how
mm,
they feel, and you then start to build this connection of trust with them. But also, feel free to ask them for signs. They are
mm,
happy to send you signs to let you know they are with you, to confirm what you're experiencing. They are there to support. And when I say that, I also encourage you to just be open to how that comes to you, how that may arrive or arise to be in your awareness, um, may be very unique and different. So just be open
mm-hmm.
to uh, that answer or that message comes to you.
I love it. Being open and having no expectations in terms of how the spirit world is going to communicate with them, and being surprised by that higher intelligence and the magic
Yes.
that they bring to our energy. Beautiful. Okay, a couple of questions. Well, one that I would love to ask you, would you be willing to share what have you learned about afterlife while communicating with spirit?
Yes. Thank you. One of the bigger takeaways from connecting with spirit is um, that we are eternal. We are eternal.
Mm-hmm.
We will live on for forever. Our spirit continues, and that we have come here to grow, to learn, and to expand spiritually. And so once I understood that and believed that, I felt that there was this calmness that came to my own being, because I was learning to be a bit more um, gentle with myself and the experiences of life that I was having, and that they were now becoming more of an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to continue to fall into that place of love. And that, I believe, spirit is love. That's what it is. It's love. God is love.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all of these layers that we
My
built up.
candle today. I have to
Oh,
interrupt, but my candle of the love.
beautiful. I love it. Yeah. See, there's a
I had
sign right
to.
there.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yeah. And so
Mm,
we've built up all of these layers, growing up here on the earth as little kids, our experiences. We protect ourselves. We protect ourselves, and aligning ourselves with spirituality, God, Creator, is learning how to reveal or to peel back all of those layers that we have built and go back to that true essence of self and love.
mm-hmm. Do you remember the exact moment when you said yes to the spirit world? Because for anyone who's watching or listening, a reminder, we have a free will. We might be open to communication with the spirit world, but until we say like, yes, I really want to do it, they'll honor our decision. So I'm curious about, well, your moment when you've decided, oh, this is what my soul, my heart is really calling me to do.
Yes, I feel like all of my life growing up, I always was just constantly asking,
Mm-hmm.
and being curious about what happens when we die. So that was always something as a kid. I always like, well, what happens? What's going to happen to me? And when I was 26, about to turn 27, that was around the time when I had the visitation from the Lady of Guadalupe. And I saw her, and I saw her and Juan Dieguito. And I woke up from, because it was in a dream, I woke up and I could just feel that the room and the space was very different. It didn't feel as it did before I fell asleep. It was very different.
Mm,
And she came to see me like the following 2 days after. But it was through
mm,
that visitation that I could just feel within myself. It wasn't words that she said to me. I could just feel it in me that I needed to make changes for what was to come in my life later.
mm,
And that was really, I think, a very strong moment in my life where I said that I would accept this and I would allow myself to make the changes necessary for what needed to come. I had no idea what it was, to
mm-hmm,
be honest. Um, but I just knew that it was very important, and I see what it's become now. Um, and so that I feel like that was really that moment of me saying yes to spirit.
mm-hmm. And how were you aware what changes to make for anyone who's watching or might be experiencing or sensing the spirit? Because we don't always see spirit or hear there are various ways spirit communicates. So how to trust that the spirit world is preparing us for something that we might not see through our like physical eyes? And yeah, I'm curious about your experience.
Yeah, for me, it was clear that I was creating experiences in my life that were not
Mm,
healthy towards myself, and were not productive in living a good life. And so that was very apparent, and I knew exactly what those things were. And
mm,
the feeling just came from within my own self, my own heart, in knowing what that was. And even now today, I feel that spirit will communicate in different ways. Maybe I'll
mm,
see something on the road and I'm like, oh, thank you, spirit, I knew I was meant to look at that and see that. Other times I can hear my guide talking to me directly, but oftentimes it's just really an emotion that arises from within, like my stomach, and then rises up.
mm,
And with that emotion comes like an understanding of what that is, a feeling for what it is. And I've learned to trust that feeling, and that's how I've been guided by spirit. I feel like there are several ways, but that's been one consistent way that really comes forward within myself. And for those that are listening, it could be as gentle as you reading a book, and a sentence in that book just has a different vibration the moment that you
mm.
read it. It just feels like right as you are connecting to it. And that is a message right there for yourself.
Mm, thank you. And for anyone who's new to trance mediumship and trance healing, I know like you channeled your spirit guide and you went into trance. So I don't want to treat it as we had a beautiful download and you channeled the messages. But could you like maybe describe what trance mediumship feels like for you, like physically, emotionally, spiritually, and normally how do you prepare and come back to yourself after channeling?
Yes, when I begin, I always like to start with a prayer. Prayer to
Mm,
me is really important, and that prayer to me just allows to bring in a little bit extra closer those souls that I love and that I feel comfortable with, and so that's always
mm,
my starting point. And after that, I really just become an observer of my own breath, and I observe my breath, and I allow myself to sync with that breath as I move. And I bring my attention down to like my stomach, and I bring my
mm,
breath there, and I'm in that space. And so as I'm there, I'm just patiently waiting. I'm patiently waiting. And then I feel the energy of the trance starting to overcome me. And that feels
mhm,
like this blanket of love that is warm, but is also making me drowsy. That I start to
Mm-hmm.
feel like I can kind of start to really fall asleep. And so I just
Mm.
relax into that energy. And as I'm there, that strengthens and that builds, and I can feel the energy build. And I I trust and believe that that expansion is spirit. Spirit is building the energy. Spirit is expanding the space, so that once it's ready, Braveheart steps into my auric field, and he then
Mm.
begins to blend his spirit with my spirit, and he stays there for a moment till that is a harmonious balance of the two of us, and then he begins to speak. As he's speaking, I am aware, but I'm only aware as it's happening in the moment. And so something I thought about to help people understand a few days ago is when you're looking for something, or you tell yourself, I'm going to go to the room to go get this. And then you go to that room and then you're like, what was I here for?
Mm-hmm.
You completely forget when you were there. It's sort of that same feeling. I'm only aware of it in the moment. And as
Mm-hmm.
I stay in that space, the longer that I'm in there and the energy builds, I become less aware of what's happening. And I am just held in this space that is comfortable, that is love. And for me, it's just a dark space, but it's not a fearful space. It's
Mm.
dark space. I lose awareness of this reality, the tangible physical form of like my chair, my desk, my body.
Mm-hmm.
I lose that awareness. Um, it's like my spirit for that moment just kind of steps aside, and so when they're done, I feel myself just being pulled back into my body once again, and they
Mm-hmm.
naturally trigger my energy to be pulled back into the earth the moment that they're done. So that's the grounding part that takes place. And it takes me a couple minutes to kind of just really come back to myself after they are done, because my spirit is being brought back to the physical.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm experiencing when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And would you be able to tell a little bit? Because I remember when I first started connecting with the spirit world, and especially when I channel my spirit guides, I go into the like trance-like states as well. But I used to be scared of it initially because I didn't know what it was, but also there's so many misconceptions.
Mhm.
And whenever I believe we connect with the spirit world, we should set an intention to really operate through that lens of love, not fear. So my fears were around what if the spirit world is going to take control of my body and I'll not be able to come back. And so I had to really dismantle it for myself. So would you be able to speak to it? So because I really hope with that conversation we can allow more people who are drawn to trance mediumship to trust that you can do it in a very safe way, that you can bring those energies of the highest vibration, that you'll be able to speak the best about that.
Mhm. Yes, yeah, I'd like to reassure everybody that there's nothing to fear. It's understandable that there can be some fear when the thought or imagination of another soul occupying the space with you, it can be a
Mm-hmm.
little bit scary at first. But once you make that connection and you experience it time after time after time, you begin to experience the truth that there is nothing to fear with it. And, just to share as well, it's not a possession, it's a spiritual influence that
Mm.
is occurring.
So
They are,
important.
yeah, they're taking control of the energy, the auric field. Um, Trance mediumship has changed over time. As we develop and evolve, our guides on the other side are also finding different ways to work with us.
Mm-hmm.
Mediums of the past, when we read, the trance that was occurring was a bit more rough, where the spirit control was coming in
Mm-hmm.
and taking control in a bit of a
Mm-hmm.
harsher way. But now it's a bit more gentle. It really has become a union, an effort of both souls to make this happen. And you know I believe, and I know I have the trust to bring myself out of it any moment that I want. But do I want to?
Mm-hmm.
No, because it feels
Mm-hmm.
really, really good and I
Mm-hmm.
trust them. So I allow it to happen. So if you want to give trance an opportunity, I do encourage you to give it a go. You will experience the love of spirit in a very profound way, and that will build that trust within you to them, that all that is happening is goodness.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So profound. And especially when you mentioned it just filled my heart when you mentioned, do I want to come back? No, because I'm like experiencing that energy. And this is just a key that we can always bring ourselves back. But yeah, so it's not about, I wouldn't want to use the word control, but in a way, there is that power within us that we could always, should we choose to bring ourselves back. So that's so powerful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Marta, if
Mm,
I may add to that as well, for those of you that are starting your journey or want to begin this journey, Spirit is very gentle in the way that they're going to
mm,
work with you. So they will only work to the capacity that you are comfortable and allow them to work.
mm,
So in the beginning, if you're starting your journey, it could be as subtle as just feeling the influence of words coming into your mind and then you speak them.
mm-hmm,
The
mm-hmm,
more that you build that trust, the more that they take control. They can then take
mm,
control of the movement of the body, the hands. And over time, after many, many years of that bond being built, then they can really take us further into that complete surrender of that deep
mm,
state of trance, but it's gradual. So again, spirit will only, bring forth as much as you are comfortable. And the more that you
mm.
surrender, the more that is possible.
I love it. And yeah, I think, well, I don't want to condense it to any relationship, but this is the message I keep getting. Like with any relationship, it takes time to build that trust and and an ability to really surrender and to learn each other's like energies. So, uh,
Mhm.
yes. Could you talk a little bit about the trance healing aspect of your service and how did you become aware that this is something that you can do? And yes, anything that you would like to share about that aspect of your work.
Yeah, so the trance healing became apparent to me at the same time as the trance was happening. So I've been, working with spirit developing. I feel like I'm always developing. It doesn't feel like I've ever really arrived. But that
Mm-hmm.
for me, that journey started in 2026, and then the trance and the healing was in 2022. And I could just feel that there was a shift in the energy when I would sit with spirit. I could begin to feel my hands becoming a bit warm
Mm-hmm.
as this was happening. And so I would intentionally then sit, for the development of the trance healing and the development of the trance. And it got to a point where I, started to become comfortable in sharing it and
Mm-hmm.
offering to people like, hey, would you like to experience this? And
Mm-hmm.
so I would then just sit. And as I continued to sit, the energy would build and build, become a bit more stronger, more present. And I feel just as the same process of trance, just focusing on my breath, allowing it to happen, and then I feel the spirit blend with me, and they then direct the energies where they are meant to be directed to, for whatever it is, whether it's physical pain or emotional or just balancing mind, body, and spirit, whatever that is, they know what to do. And over time, what would happen was that they started to speak during the trance healings. And so they would share with
Mm-hmm.
the person, we are aware that this is happening in your life. So therefore, there's this pain on this part of your body. We are going to be sending healing there.
Mm-hmm.
So it got
Okay.
to that point, which was really beautiful. And it's changed again now. They
Mm,
are more quiet once again during the healings, and it's just about the healing energy. And what I've noticed as of recently is that after a few minutes, people just fall asleep in the energy.
mm,
They are relaxed and are in that space, and it's really beautiful. It's really become what it's meant to be through spirit, with spirit. And so I look forward to seeing what else they continue to build with that.
And who is they when you say they? For anyone who's watching and willing, what are the energies that you will channel when you facilitate healing? And does it change? And have you ever experienced that? Well, you might have one spirit team, but maybe your clients, spirit guides, or other energies just join the healing. I'm just curious about that.
Yeah,
Who are they?
yeah, all of that. Their loved ones can come in if that
Mm-hmm.
healing is a healing that needs to occur between two souls.
Mm,
Braveheart will facilitate that, and where he will bring that communication if it's needed. So he is always my main soul, but I do feel doctors coming in as well that come in to
mm-hmm.
work on the body for what is needed. There is a nurse that works with us. Her name is Nurse Maria,
Mm-hmm.
and then Doctor Sanchez, who also helps as well. But there are also just beautiful moments where Jesus also comes in, and
Mm-hmm.
Mother Mary, Lady of Guadalupe, come in for the healing also. And there can be multiple souls, helping in one session. So it's really a
Mm-hmm.
collaboration that occurs so that that soul may receive what is most needed, and spirit will provide the healing that they need. But it's also, the person receiving the healing must also put forth the effort to help
Mm.
themselves as well. It's a balance of the two. They are there to support, they bring the healing, but the soul also needs to put that effort forward.
So, could you talk more about, for anyone who would like to experience as a client, trance mediumship, trance healing, how can we open ourselves up? How can we prepare? How can we help?
Yes, you mean in the sense of receiving?
Receiving, yes, because well, at least like in mediumship, the way I always explain it's a freeway link. So I channel messages; they flow through me, but also the energy of my sitter is so important, and whether they're opened in terms of their intentions and heart, it makes a difference.
Yes, it does make a difference. And, all that I ask people is to come with an open heart and open mind. That's it.
Mm,
Just come with an open heart, open mind, open to receive. That's all you need. They don't need to do anything actively when the healing or the communication is taking place. I actually encourage them to not do anything. I'm like, don't
perfect.
do anything, just breathe, just focus on your breath.
Mm,
And the reason why I share that with people is because then they experience spirit coming to them. They experience that love just flowing into them. Because, I have noticed that there are times when I'm in the trance for the healing or the communication, and that person will start to send energy my way, and I can feel
mm.
it. And it's like, no, no, I need to be down here. Like, don't send. Because then there's like this change in the frequency. I'm like, do nothing, please.
I love it. You're also a spirit artist. I would love to hear how that works for you. Do the guides guide your hands? Is it visual, energetic, symbolic? And what's your intention behind your art?
Yes, thank you. Yes, the spirit art, I for some time really focused on the spirit portraits. I don't
Mm-hmm.
do them as much now. If the opportunity arises, I'm happy to do it. But when that happens, again, it's just a surrender, allowing spirit. And I can feel them guiding my hand. My hand will move. So it's either a combination of my hand moving or I perceive the soul. I see the soul, like glimpses of them, enough to get me moving with what we're drawing. And sometimes I'll be honest, I don't see a thing. I just feel that I'm
Mm,
supposed to place my pencil here and there, And it's a really beautiful experience because I'm also seeing how this soul is coming forward through that image. And it's a beautiful experience. So that's when I work with the spirit portraits. When I paint with oil paint within my own self, for myself, I do invite spirit, and I invite them to come and influence that painting. And it's just, an influence. That's really what it is. Like maybe they'll be like, and again, it's not necessarily like, oh, put green or red here, but more like as I'm in the space, it's like, oh, I should add red. I should add green. No, I should move this, or I should brush
Mm-hmm.
my brush like this. So it's a very a guidance that comes forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have that question that I know it's going to be probably difficult to answer because every I can imagine only that every single session that you provide for your clients, for those beautiful souls, is very unique and so healing. But is there any story that you would like to share about any trance mediumship, trance healing that has remained in your heart and soul, and that will give perhaps hope? The word hope comes to my mind for
Mhm.
anyone who maybe is in need of some healing.
Yes, there have been quite a few experiences. The ones that I can, there are a few actually. Um, I find it quite amazing how spirit is so incredible that I have experienced people who come in, are in their own world, mind racing at a million miles, super, super fast. Like, you can see it, you can feel it in them. Their ability to stay still is difficult. But once
Mm-hmm.
they lay down and they allow the energy to come, they are completely relaxed, and they share with me, it's like everything's gone. I'm not even thinking of the things that I was thinking before. I
Mm.
feel really calm. Or they'll talk about how they feel like they were not here anymore, like they were
Mm.
somewhere else. And I know
Mm-hmm.
that that is spirit, you
Mm.
know, lifting their spirit to be in the love and the vibration of creator in that moment. So I know they get to feel what it feels like
Mm.
to be home in that moment. So that's one that I get to experience frequently. Another one is I love it when Jesus comes. I really, really love it.
Mm.
Um, and there was one time when we were sharing healing, and Braveheart said to the person, "Jesus is here," and I could feel as if Jesus just passed through my spirit, and as he passes through
Mm.
my spirit to that person, there's this love that is so immense that it you cannot contain it. You cannot contain the amount of love that is experienced, that I just start to cry. Like tears just start falling
Mm.
because you just feel like everything is perfect in that moment. And so that person also gets to experience that. And that for me is such a beautiful gift that that person can receive, that they get to experience the unconditional love that Creator, God, whomever comes to join them, my guide, whomever it is, that they get to feel that love in that moment. And that is such a beautiful thing.
Mm, thank you. And do you think that bliss, that unconditional love that people are able to experience during your sessions, it's the same feeling that we experience while crossing over? And once we've crossed over, because Spirit is showing me now, like, no wonder souls, once they've completed their earthly like experience, don't want to come back because of what you've just described, which is so difficult. Like it's difficult to find the right words, but once you've experienced that bliss love, unconditional love, and you return to yourself, remove all of the layers of that human
Yes.
experience.
Mhm. I do feel that we do experience that. And I believe that, you know, when we experience it here on the earthly realm, it is just a very small portion.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get
Mm,
there, it is that times many, 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 many folds. It becomes much more expansive, much more, because the spirit is fully back to that true soul vibration. And so, yes, it's. I believe it's the same. It's the same in that sense.
mhm. And I have two last questions because I know I can keep asking many questions, but something that's popped into my mind because I remember when I helped my mom to transition to the spirit world, she was very scared of dying. So for anyone who's scared of crossing over, what message would you like to give them?
I would like to give them the message of there is nothing to fear because all that you will be met is with love, love and compassion when you enter the spirit realm. And there is not a God up there who is judging you or who's going to judge you. From my experience, it is not that.
Mm-hmm.
We will experience, of course, reviewing our life and that
Mm-hmm.
experience, but it is all through that action and that love, so that we can learn from it, so that we can grow from it. And even when Braveheart connects with me and shares, he always mentions quite often how they don't judge us, they just love us.
Mm,
And so, for those that have fear of themselves crossing over, or of somebody crossing, in their life, they will only be met with love. And that love will then in return be brought to you as well.
thank you. And finally, well, what's the final message that you would like to leave the viewers and listeners with?
Yes, I would love to leave everybody with encouraging all of those that are listening to listen to their spirit, to trust in themselves, to trust in their intuition, and that will just allow them to become closer and closer to their true selves and God that's within them.
Thank you. And finally, I know I'm saying another time, finally, how can people work with you and where can people find you?
Yes, you are welcome to find me on Facebook under Miguel Gonzalez, or you can email me, miguelgonzalezmedium@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to connect with you.
Thank you. And I'm going to add all of your details into the description of this podcast. Well, Miguel, thank you so much for opening your heart, for sharing your wisdom, and for allowing us to experience what it feels like to receive messages from your spirit guide. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marta. I appreciate you as well. Thank you for this time together.
Thank you. And I want to say thank you to all of the viewers and listeners. Goodbye, everyone.